Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're not going to look at a game specifically, but more on the technical aspect of transcoding data from a variable bitrate to a constant bitrate. Why might you want to do that? Well, some of the problems that I found with kind of importing content into Premiere Pro was that the video and the audio will be out of sync. This is kind of very apparent for kind of data which has a kind of a high bit rate for quality, and also when the size of the file is quite large and you load it into Premiere into the timeline here as a new sequence. So what should you do to fix it? One of the things that you should do in your game, so for example here it's Resident Evil 7, is to set the frame rate to a constant frame rate of, like, we're talking here of 60 frames per second. So this is content that I have recorded. If we look at the latest content, if you go to properties, so I've recorded this and it's defaulting to the VLC player. Let's have a look at properties. The most important things to look at here are under details. The details tab would be under the video settings and the audio settings. So we know that it's 18 minutes long. We know that it's 1080p content. The data rate is 50 megabits per second, and the frame rate is 59 frames per second. And what I've done then is I've brought this information into Handbrake. And so, for example, here we've got a destination file which will be Resident Evil Part 18, for example, based on this content up here. We've just dragged and dropped it into this into the program here, into the user interface, which resolves it to this content and resolves it to 1080p content. If that is not set to 1920, what you can do is click on custom and then set it to 1920. Otherwise, what I found happened was that the width will be too short and too short of a value, too low of a value, and the resulting video then is too small and it's useless, more or less. So make sure that that's 1920 for 1080p content. Forget about loose, forget about modulus. What you're interested here is video. You want to leave it on the H.264 video codec. The frame rate, again, looking back here at our details under this specific content, set it to 59.94 frames per second. That's close to 60. A little bit below 60 I found was the best way of doing that, because even though it's constant, you might have still a little bit of fluctuation there with the frame rate. So 59.94 frames per second. Optimize the video, just set it to X264 present. That's using the quickest kind of setup that I found. Don't worry about setting it to ultra fast, just set it all the way to the left here. Adjust settings to trade off compression efficiency against encoding speed. So you want to read up a little bit about that. X264 tune, set that to film. X264 profile, set that to main. And this setting here, 5.2, the X264 level, it's usually set to 5.1, but because I've got a system with 32 gigs of memory and I've got a quite powerful graphics card, I've set it to 5.2. I don't use the constant quality tab here. What I've done instead is my data is encoded with 50 megabits per second. So I'm using, for this example, this content is based on the video shadow play, and I'm recording at a 50,000 megabits per 50,000, which represents 50,000 megabits per second. Whatever it is yourself, set it to 25 megabits per second, depending on your system. What I've done over here is I've clicked on add, and I've created and I've saved this information as constant frame rate. If you look at audio, so I've set this depending on my microphone settings. Mix down, I've set to automatic. Sample rate 48,000. So again, if we look at properties here, details, we look at audio sample rate is 48 kHz, kilohertz. So we've set that to that. And that basically creates a very good content in, for example, a directory here that I'm going to use to import into Adobe Premiere for publishing, which I've created. So let's have a look at for publishing. Just going back to my directory, videos, YouTube, click on for publishing. So my content should come up here. So it's Revel 18, whatever you want to call it. It's reduced the size to 6,000, okay, 6,806 megabytes, excuse me. And let's click on properties. So we've got like 6.49 gigabytes. And so it's gigabytes, what am I thinking about? So this is, yeah, this is basically some content I've created. And let's have a look here. And we've got 59 frames per second. We've got like 1920, 1080. So frame height, frame width. So that's 1080p. Then what we do is just bring that into, let's create here a new bin. So we're going to go to a new bin. We're going to call it test. What we're going to do then is just drag and drop this into test, to this test bin. Let's import it there. So it's like 6 gigs, so it's going to take a little bit of time. Let's do that. Okay, so we've got it imported. And then what I like to do is just create a new sequence out of that, bring it into the timeline, and just wait for conforming to take care of everything. That takes a little bit of time. And when we play it, then there should be no echoing, there should be no kind of voice and video out of sync. So it should be finished in any moment now. Let's wait for it to be finished. No point in kind of cutting and kind of fast forwarding this video. I just want to show you the whole content. I think it's important actually to know about this, especially with gaming. Let's play it. So guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the final chapter of the game, so final moments of the game. It's Takedown Evelyn, and I'm playing as Ethan, and this is my setup that we've managed to organize. Okay, so that didn't come out too well because my data is still loading up, I think. So let's go back to the start again. So guys, welcome back to the channel. It's the final chapter of the game, so final moments of the game. It's Takedown Evelyn, and I'm playing as Ethan, and this is my setup that we've managed to organize. At the end of part 17, is in order.
We finished up with Mia, who we saw was infected with the virus, and we're now playing as Ethan again. So let's try to find Evelyn.
The explosion should correspond.
Got a couple of these guys here.
Into the bomb. So let's have a look.
You know what we're going to do? We're just going to get rid of these bombs.
Okay,
double
so
whammy.
Pretty good, doesn't it?
Okay, let's see if these guys are going to come here.
There's no out of sync happening
there.
And let's have a look here on properties for the audio. So MPEG movie 6.49 gigs. It's 1080p, and we've got 59.94 frame rate, which looks all good. Compression for source audio. So that's all good, guys, and I hope this video helps you out with kind of variable compression, variable frame rate, kind of constant frame rate, kind of conversion. It definitely helped me out. So talk to you later, guys. Here you go. I'm just going to put on screen again the details about what you need to put into your Handbrake tool. Again, this is information about Handbrake, and you can just download it off the internet and use my settings here. Okay, talk to you later on. Have a good day.